Congratulations! You've passed through all the hurdles of searching for a job. Now you're a full-time staff of the organization you dreamt of. However, there is another hurdle that you need to cross. You just discovered that one or two members of your team earn more than you. What would you do? Join us at Workplace on Filtered NG for conversations like this. You are a manager. You've earned your position as a manager. You've resumed full time, but you discover that your subordinate earns more than you. This is a very difficult conversation to have, especially when you are near the work environment. However, there is no law that says that your subordinates should earn lower than you. Compensations can come in various forms. Companies can compensate as a result of scarcity of that particular skills, the number of years that particular person have stayed with the organization. It could also be as a result of how that person was able to negotiate. And finally, it will also be as a result of the market value as at the time that person was employed. Now, you've done your best, you have been employed. Now you are not in the dynamic of what to do after you have realized this difference. You could be angry with the organization, you have a right. But however, you should ask yourself first, did you do proper negotiation when you're taking the job? If you watch our previous video, we kept hammering on the fact that you need to understand the job you are applying for. You need to understand the terms and conditions, the salaries, the industrial standards for the role you're applying for, because that ultimately helps you with your negotiation skills. You should never be afraid to ask questions when you are applying for job. So the question is, why does the subordinate earn more? Like I said earlier, it could be different reasons. It could be that they have more years of experience. It could be that they have benefits that they've negotiated before their employment. Or simply the company salary structure is inconsistent. The real problem isn't necessarily that your subordinate earn more than you. The real problem is when the company cannot explain why, if you ask the question. Mind you, a manager should not automatically expect to earn more than anyone in their terms simply because they are carrying the title manager. Compensation should consider experience, skills, responsibility, market value, performance, and the circumstances under which such persons were hired. But here is the other side. If you are carrying greater responsibility, managing people, making decisions, holding people accountable, getting results for a team, and your compensation does not reflect that, then you have every right to ask questions. Not with entitlement, but with facts. So persons, when they get this information, they tend to throw tantrums, decrease productivity. Some go as far as sabotaging the work of the team. That is not being professional. When you find yourself in this condition, my advice, take a deep breath. The first thing that comes to your mind to do, don't do it, because you probably might not be reasoning very well. Take a deep breath and go back to your drawing table. If you're working in a structured environment, you should be able to put out your thoughts. Like I said, not with entitlement and not with any act of resentment. Ensure that you meet all of your marked KPIs. Have a detailed breakdown of what you have accomplished. I'm sure if you watch our previous episode, we talked about salary reviews. What was the point of the salary review as at when you accepted the offer? Ensure that you meet all of your KPIs. Even if you can't meet it, 90% of your KPIs, you meet them. So that at the point of salary review, you are coming out with a portfolio of what you have been actually able to establish. And then you can now suggest the salary for. You do not walk into your HR office and say, Mr. Tunde or Mrs. Barakat earns more than me when I do the bulk of the job. It's a wrong approach, and you will never get a positive feedback from your HR. Rather, take it to the professional level. Submit a portfolio of what you have done and give reasons why you should earn this amount of salary. And in any organization who wants the good of the company, I'm sure you will get a feedback from them. And I know it's probably going to be positive. But in the line where it is not positive, you can sit down and gradually begin to work your exit, because by now you should be able to know what the organization stands in terms of your career growth. This is Workplace Unfiltered Engine. Conversations like that help us to ensure that our workplace is not toxic environment, but it's truly a place where we enjoy and identify skills. I'd like to hear stories on what you have experienced in the workplace and how you think it will benefit others. Follow us at Workplace Unfiltered Engine for conversations on this. See you on our next episode.